There are three different types of people when it comes down to writing business plans. One, those who don't write business plans. Two, those who write business plans in the month of December, but past February, they never look at it again. And three, those who write a business plan with logic and emotion that fires them up, and they read it all year long, and they hit 80% of their numbers on the business plan. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 12 building blocks of writing a business plan that produces logic and emotion at the same time. So stick around to the very end to introduce you to our online university that we have to learn how to become a better speaker, salesperson, strategy, a place that very few people know about. Stick around, I'll let you know how to find the online university. And if you get value from this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. So let's get right into it. 12 building blocks. When I want to go into a new year and I want to see what I need to do to improve as a salesperson, employee, CEO, founder, executive, I break it down based on 12 different building blocks. The first two I look at is will and skill. Now, when you look at willpower and skill set, what do we talk about? So for example, skill set. I'll sit there and say, what skills do I need for 2023? Do I need to learn how to become a better salesperson, negotiator, conflict resolution, how to bring people together, raising money, understanding numbers, reports, balance sheet, coding? What do I need to get better at? Skill set. Then I go put a plan together on how I can get better in those skill sets. Simultaneously, if I have a team of people that work with me, I'll write out my executives or my sales leaders and I'll say, when I talk to Johnny for his annual review on December 18th, what am I going to give him feedback on areas he needs to improve in? Is it leadership? Is it management? Is it accountability? Is it character? Is it a hard skill? Is it a soft skill? What is it? So I'll typically have that in place on what I need to improve skill set wise and what my leaders around me need to improve skill set wise as well as company. So that's skill, but that's not enough. The complete opposite of skill is willpower. I know a lot of great salespeople. I know a lot of great negotiators. I know a lot of great coders. I know a lot of great people who have very, very strong hard skills, but when it comes down to deadline, they miss the deadline. When it comes down to a lot of pressure, they don't will themselves into wrapping it up. When it comes down to getting something done that everybody's reliant on, there's a lot of things going on. Oh my God, I don't know how we're gonna handle it. You all of a sudden see them breaking. You're like, oh my God, they can't handle that part, right? That's willpower. You're gonna have certain people that maybe their skill set is low, but their willpower is hard. It takes a lot to break them. You need to work on this person's skill set. But you got a lot of people that you're gonna have their skill set being here and their willpower being here. It may be you, it may be someone on your team. You have to figure out a way how to increase your willpower. The way you increase your willpower is by small victories. You say you're gonna work out 3 times a week, you do it. You say you're gonna go get XYZ done, you do it. You say you're gonna go read this book and write a report on it by next Friday, you do it. Gradually, your confidence in you goes up, and eventually you say, whatever comes out of my mouth is gonna get done because my willpower is increasing. So first 2 building blocks are skill set and will. Here's a quick shout out to our sponsor, Fund&Grow. These guys recently grabbed my attention because it's small business built by helping other small businesses thrive. I'm a big fan of what they do. They offer a 12-month business credit card stacking membership that gives entrepreneurs and small businesses an alternative to traditional funding. Throughout their membership, Fund&Grow maintains the credit cards at 0% interest so that you can effortlessly manage your day-to-day business expenses. Additionally, you won't have to give up equity of your business. Anyone in almost any industry can use business credit. Unsecured business credit is one of the most innovative ways to get startup capital without having to weave through lots of red tape with banks. If you don't own a business, but you have an idea and you want to start a business, they'll help you start a complementary LLC or a sole proprietorship. That'll save you money and the time of going through a lawyer or an attorney. There's a webinar their CEO, Ari Page, did that'll give you an insight on how to make your business lendable to banks, credit report secrets, and how the banks are trying to scam you by giving you the smallest limits even when you deserve more. So go to fundandgrow.com/PBD, watch the webinar, and when you sign up today, you'll get $500 off their 12-month funding program, which by the way is tax write-off. Once again, go to fundandgrow.com/PBD, check out the webinar, save that $500 off your membership. They've helped over 30,000 businesses, and they can help you as well. Let's look at the next 2 building blocks. Then you have plan and mission. On the bottom again, you notice skill is logical, plan is logical, will is emotional, mission is emotional, plan is how do you write out a business plan? To sit there and say, what are we gonna do Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4? Plan of what demographic we're going to get into, what technology we need this year, who we need to go out there and expand in what territories. The business plan is more of what we're going to be doing on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, different kind of incentives. We're going to have all these things that you're writing out your plan. For everything, we need a plan, right? But at the top is mission. If I would ask you right now, what's your mission statement for your life? What are you going to be doing with your life? What's your mission? Could you say it? If you and I sat down right here, we had a 5-minute conversation, and I said, tell me your mission in life. What do you want to do? I'm not looking for a same sentence that you've said a few thousand times, although for us, when I started my own insurance company, I had a very simple mission statement: bringing back the free enterprise system and hope to American families. I've said that phrase 15,000 times, 20,000 times. That was our mission statement, but I have my own as well. You yourself, obviously I have a BPW course, business planning workshop, where I get into a full day on this course. If you want to find out more about it, I'll put the link below. But you, for your mission statement, you'll notice Musk has a mission statement, personal, not Tesla, not Twitter, but Musk. Oprah Winfrey has a mission statement, not Harpo, but herself. Some of the people that do the biggest things in life, they have a mission statement. That mission produces emotion. It's not how to, it's why to. So again, the second building block is having the right business plan being written. And number 2, getting clear on what your mission is. It'll produce an emotion and energy that a logical business plan alone just won't do. So far we got 4 of the business building blocks knocked out of the way. The next 2, you got systems, you got dream. In systems, I looked at every single thing, whether I'm running a media company. I'll give you an idea. Yesterday we did a webinar on generational wealth webinar, right? We started 12 minutes late. I wasn't happy about it. Right afterwards, we had a debrief, and I sat there and said, guys, what happened here today? Everybody said, well, it was this, it was that, it was this. Here's the challenge that we had. The PowerPoint was done on a complete different computer, and the computer that got transferred to PowerPoint, all of a sudden the words were choppy all over the place. I'm sure you've seen this before when it happens, right? So we said, and then so let me try to get this. Let's do this chip, bring another Apple, let's do this computer. 12 minutes later, we're late 12 minutes, and there's 5,000 people that are waiting for us, right? At the end, when it ended, I said, guys, I want a system on what we need to do before we do a live webinar. So one guy said, I need the PowerPoint 3 days before the webinar for us to test it out. Great. Let's define what test is. What is test? The final webinar in my hands design. Great. So when does the designer need it to spruce up the whatever webinar it is? They need it 3 days prior to that. So that means the person that's putting together the webinar has to have it approved by me a week prior to that to hand it over to our designer, for the designer to put it together, to give it to our camera folks and the team folks to say, we're ready to go live 3 days from now. So anyways, we're putting a checklist together. We need systems to approve everything. Everything is about systems. The other night, I'm walking with a guy who's a father, who's got 4 kids. His oldest kid is 7 years older than my oldest kid. And I noticed while we're doing Halloween trick-or-treating, we always talk, and I noticed one of his kids comes by and he says, hey, my son, he's a little upset right now. Why? Because he lost his technology privileges away. Why? What is technology privileges? He doesn't have his phone. He doesn't have his iPad. He doesn't have, I said, why did he lose all that stuff? Well, because he doesn't have straight A's. In our family, you want your iPhone, you want all that stuff, you need straight A's. I sat there thinking about it, I said, can I apply that to my own family? That's their system to get their kids to get straight A's. That system is transferable. Systems for business, system for recruiting, system for hiring, system for script, system for customer service, system for handling complaints. Everything is about systems. So what areas of your business do you have leaks in your system? You got to take a look at that. But the complete opposite side of system, which is emotional, is dreams. What are your dreams? What do you want to do? Today I'm doing a consulting for this one company. They do $3 billion a year of funding in real estate in Canada. And we're having this conversation about what they want to do. And the guy said, well, we're doing this, well, we're doing that, well, we're doing that. I said, so tell me what your dream is. What do you want to do? Do you want to sell this company? Do you want to take it public? Do you want to keep it and pass it down to your family? What do you want to do? What's your dream? If you don't know your dreams and it doesn't excite you, eventually you're just going to be doing business as usual. I'll give you a crazy story about myself. I'm 27 years old. My goal was to have $250,000 in savings. So all of a sudden I got $250,000 in the bank at 28 and I'm driving a nice car. I've traveled the world. My dad's happy. He's no longer working at a 99-cent store. All of my dreams have I paid off my credit card debt. My credit score's at 800, but I didn't replace those dreams that I had with new ones. You know what happened the next 6 months? I was all over the place. I was bored. I didn't know what I'm running for. And then quickly, time out. What are your next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dreams? I wrote out a business plan, I'll never forget. Fired me up. You know what's crazy? When I wrote out the business plan, right off the bat, my girlfriend and I start dating. She becomes my wife a year and a half later. Then you got family, kids, company, all this other things that happen because I got clear about my dreams. My dreams, your dreams. Then you have to sit there with your executive team and leadership team asking them, what are your dreams? So it's not just important for you to know your dreams, is whatever your leadership team is, knowing their dreams and then challenging them to have conversations with their employees of what their dreams are. Now, what's a conversation what if somebody's making $15 an hour? What are you talking to them about dreams? It's not Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but what do you tell them? Hey, I'd like to one day be a manager here. Fantastic. I'd like to one day be able to buy my own house 5 years from now, a condo. Great. People have dreams. So on the bottom with systems, top is dreams. So far we have 6 building blocks. The next 2, capital, vision, capital, money. One of the guys I was talking to upstairs right before this meeting, this guy said, I got $1 million in the bank. Well, my run rate with the company is $250, which means I got 4 weeks. He says, I got $600,000 a line of credit for the company, and I got $500,000 in my savings right now. What do I do? Should I go buy a house? And I said, well, you ain't got a lot of capital. If you think about how much of your expenses you got set aside, it ain't that long because you're doing quarter a week. He said, that's a good point. Pump the brakes. So we got a capital issue here. Let's get the capital a little bit bigger before we do X, Y, Z, or we got to go raise money. For you, it may be, I got $30,000 in the bank. That's your capital. What do I do with this $30,000? How do you increase it? What is your capital goal? What do you need to be? Should you go buy something that's a car that's $900 a month? Well, you only have $30,000 in the bank. Maybe you go get a $450 car or used car, right? That's the capital conversation you're having. Do you go hire 5 employees or do you hire 1 employee? Based on the capital that you have, do you go raise the capital? The opposite of capital is vision. Do you know what the vision is? Where are we going? What are we doing? Where are we going to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now? What is the long-term vision of the company that you're running, your business? Can you recite your vision to your wife, to your husband, to your kids, to your coworkers, to your employees, to your customers? Do you know your vision, where you're going? Sometimes people can have tens of millions of dollars in their bank, some even billions. Call FTX. But if there's no real vision and it's all fake, eventually you're not only going to hurt the people around you, but you're eventually going to get distracted and hurt yourself. You need a real clear vision that fires you up and the people around you. So capital is good, but vision brings energy. It's emotional. Next 2, competition versus enemy. A lot of times everybody talks about, go study your competition. If you're in real estate, what is your competition to? Well, these guys do this, and Keller Williams does this, and EXP, these guys do that, and that, all these guys do that. Great. You can get as much competition as you want. You need to study the marketplace. Who's coming out with one product? What demos are they in? What markets are they in? What technology are they using? What's going on with the differentiation that this company has from those guys, from these guys? How do they get their customers? How do those guys get their customers? Why do they sell? Compass sells to higher end products versus Keller Williams has this over here. Should I go lower and middle market? Should I go higher market? What is it? That's competition, studying the competition. You got to do that. And that requires the ability to know how to research. Researching is a very, very high paid skill set to know how to research. But the complete opposite of competition is enemy. Enemy is a different story. An enemy wakes you up in the morning without an alarm clock. An enemy allows you to stay up in your office or your kitchen at night while everybody else is asleep. You're doing research to find out how to grow even faster than you are today because an enemy has produced a certain energy in you. A lot of people say, Pat, what are you talking about with enemy? I am 29, 30 years old, about to start an insurance company. This is the first time where I'm experiencing what it is to when you start a company and all of a sudden you experience violently opposed. First you're ridiculed, then you're violently opposed, then it's self-evident, right? Well, before you become self-evident where everybody in the marketplace says, look, I don't care what you say about Pat, you got to respect them. Look, I don't care what they say about you, you got to respect them. That sane status takes a long time to earn, right? The phase before fame status is being violently opposed, and even prior to violently opposed is ridiculed. What's ridiculed? Look at these guys, they're idiots. They think they're going to figure this out. Look at Johnny, he doesn't know what he's doing. You think that guy's going to do something in real estate? Ridiculed, they're making fun of you. But they don't believe you can do what you're doing. Violently opposed is when you're officially taking marketplace, then they start attacking you. Reviews, defamation of character, manipulation, games, infighting, pinning people in your company against you. That's when the enemy starts doing that. And I said, no problem. You want to do that to me? A competitor did that to me. I said, great. It's officially no longer competition. It's war. 2 2 years, there was only one audiobook playing in my car for 2 straight years. You know what it was? 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene, a good friend of mine. And I listened to it every day, 365 days per year on repeat to know I'm not gonna let the big bullies bully me. This is why one of the values in our family with my kids, when I say 4 things we do: lead, respect, improve, love, but we don't bully, but we definitely don't get bullied. And when a bully tries to bully, you best stand up. In a marketplace, that's gonna happen. That enemy produced an energy in me. Now, enemy for you may be a father who's no longer in your life, like Tyler Perry, who said, my dad wasn't in a picture when I was coming up. When I needed you, you weren't there. Later on, when I'm rich, heck, a million or about to be a billionaire, now you wanna show up? No problem. Guess what I'm gonna do to you? I'm gonna buy you a car and pay it off. I'm gonna buy you a house and pay it off. I'm gonna give you some money, but with only one caveat. What's that? Never call me ever again. I want you to experience what you did to me. When I needed you as a kid and you weren't there, I love you. You will forever be my father. But here you go. You think the drive that he has is just because he wants to make movies and that's it? Or do you think there's something deeper than that? You think Jobs being given up to adoption was just about the whole basic stuff of, hey, I want to go out there and build Apple into a multi-trillion dollar company? No, when he was a kid, it was given up for adoption. You don't think he wants to say, how dare you adopt me? I'm a great kid. You should have never given me up for adoption. There are different kinds of enemies. Enemy's not about a war. You're going to go to fight them. But it produces energy. We know Brady is all about enemy. We know Jordan's all about enemy. We know a lot of people in business are all about enemy. Politics, military, the list goes on. You need an enemy to produce that energy for you. And last but not least, supporting cast and culture. Supporting cast at the bottom is who you have around you. Who do I need to recruit next? Whose help do I need? An assistant, processor, business person, advisor, board member. It doesn't matter. You need to write down your supporting cast on who you need. It may be as basic as an assistant. It's the most basic thing that sometimes entrepreneurs don't want to get the assistant to do the work for them, and you're doing a bunch of $15, $20, $30 an hour work. An assistant can help you out with that. All you need to do is go get an assistant. So that's supporting cast. But the emotional side of it is what? Culture. Do people at your office kind of leave exactly at 4:59 because they can't wait to leave and go home and watch sports or Netflix or something else? Or maybe your culture needs some issues, needs some help, because it's not where it needs to be. Or is your culture the kind of place you're like, guys, go home? No one wants to go home. They're having a ton of fun. They're coming in, they're having a blast, they're laughing. There's potlucks, there's gift exchange, there's joking, there's humor, there's competition, there's entertainment. People are getting their job done. It's competitive. Your culture may need to have some kind of facelift to get better. And what is that area with your culture? Maybe you got to look at some cultures that have done well company-wise and apply it to your business. Again, I can talk about this all day. This is why I host a event once a year called Business Planning Workshop. And we talk about this for a full day where people from 100 plus countries come together and we talk about how to put a business plan together. But I'm giving you the shorter version of the 12 building blocks. I'm writing a book right now with Penguin Portfolio specifically on how to write a business plan that will not be introduced till a year and a half from now coming out. But these are the 12 building blocks. Now, a couple different things. One, I have an online academy, okay, where I have multiple courses: public speaking, persuasion, communication, sales systems that I use, my 10 power closes, or strategy, how to recruit, how to fire, how to raise money, all of that stuff that I have. It's on an online university for valuetainment with Bet David Consulting. If you want to learn more about that, click over here. And on the other side, I did a video, I think 6 years ago, titled How to Write a One-Page Business Plan. If you've never seen it, click here to watch that video. And if you got value out of it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody.